In this video and the next few videos, we're going to look at multiple representations of unit fractions. So a unit fraction, as defined in your media lesson packet, we're saying unit because the numerator is 1. So all of these are unit fractions. Okay. So first we're going to represent unit fractions by plotting them on the number lines. And it says to label our points below the number line. So the first is 1/2. I'm going to put this on this number line. So 1/2 means that we are splitting or dividing, so thinking of the bottom number as the dividing number, we're dividing the unit 1 into 2 pieces. So we're dividing it in half. Okay. Now, when you do this, you're not going to be absolutely perfect. I'm not even sure if you can be absolutely perfect and have this exactly in the middle. But this looks like there's about half on each side. Putting the line over here, don't write this on your paper. If I put the line over here, these are not equal pieces. So when we're talking about fractions, it's important that all of the pieces are of equal size. So I know sometimes we say, oh, you got the bigger half. I've seen commercials on TV that say that. That really doesn't make sense in terms of mathematics. There is no bigger half. If you break something into 2 pieces and they're not equal, then they're not halves. Okay, there's some different fractional amount. So moral of the story is you don't have to be perfect, but you have to be close, and you want to eyeball this, and I'm thinking this is about halfway in between. So I'm going to label these. You probably wouldn't think of it this way, but 0 can be thought of as 0 out of 2. Then this is 1 out of 2. And this is the whole, which would be 2 out of 2. Okay. And we want to plot 1/2, and by plotting we mean putting a dot at the point 1/2. Okay. So notice what 1/2 means. So 1/2 is this point, but this point is also representing, another way to think about it, it's a distance of 1/2 from 0. It's 1/2 greater than 0. So the length between 0 and 1/2 is also 1/2. This has a length of 1/2. So if it helps, you could think about this in terms of miles. If this was a road and this was, you started here and you were going a total of 1 mile, okay, this length, the distance from 0 to being halfway done, would be a length of 1/2 of a mile. Okay. Let's look at the next one, 1/4. Okay. So notice to break this unit 1 into halves, I needed to make 1 line. So 2 pieces was 1 cut. Okay. So now I need 4 pieces. Oops, excuse me. And to make 4 pieces, we're going to make 3 cuts. Okay, so it's tempting to think, well, 4 pieces, I need 4 cuts, but it's actually 1 less than the amount of pieces. Okay, so I'm thinking of 0 to 1, I want to cut this into 4 equal pieces. Okay, so a good way to start is to cut it into 2 equal pieces. Okay, and now I'm going to cut each of those 2 equal pieces into 2 equal pieces. So here, from here to here, I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to make a smaller one so I could distinguish between these, kind of like they do on a ruler. And from here, I'm going to cut this into 2 equal pieces. And again, this probably isn't perfect, but it looks like each of these line segments is approximately the same length. Okay, so now let's number these. So since they're 4 pieces, this is the first piece. Again, the pieces aren't the tick marks, so there's 3 tick marks here. We call these tick marks. The pieces are the lengths between each of the tick marks. So this is the first length. Let's put this in a different color. That's 1 piece. This is the second piece. This is the third piece. And this is the 4th piece. So 1 is broken into 4 equal pieces. So with a denominator of 4, we could say this is 0 over 4, 1 over 4. Here we have 2 over 4, 3 over 4, and 4 over 4. Okay, so 1/4 would be right here. Okay, let's look at the next one. We're going to plot the number 1/6. So we need 6 equal pieces, which is going to be 5 cuts. Okay. And again, I'm going to use 1/2 to help me. So maybe you could think of how long 1/6 would be. I don't know, maybe it's there. Okay. But it's easier if you try to start to break the pieces into pieces so you have less information to deal with all at once. So I'm going to start with cutting in half. Okay. So that's about 1/2, and we have 2 pieces. Now if I want a total of 6 pieces, each half needs to be in 3 more pieces, right? So if there was 3 here and 3 here, I'd have a total of 6. Okay. Now to cut it into 3 equal pieces, I need to cut this into, use 2 cuts to make 3 pieces. Okay. So again, it's 5 cuts. I cut it in half. Now I need this to be in 3 pieces, so I need 2 cuts. So I think I can do this pretty well. I'm going to say this right here and right here. So now this is in 1, 2, 3 equal pieces. Okay. Now let's do the same to the other side. Again, I'm eyeballing it. 1, 2, 3 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3. And again, they're not exactly equal. I did a pretty good job. I've done this before. If you realize that one of your tick marks is in not such a good place, okay, you should be using a pencil so you can move your tick marks around. Make sure to erase your old ones or else it can be confusing. So now let's count our 6 equal pieces to make sure we have them. This is our first piece, second piece, third piece, fourth piece, fifth piece, and sixth piece. So from 0 to 1 is cut into 6 equal pieces. So this would be 0, 6. This point would be 1/6 distance from 0. This is 2/6, 1, 2, 6 distance from 0, 3, 6, and I'm just going to keep going now, 4, 6, oops, sorry, got ahead of myself there, 4, 6, this would be 5, 6, and 1 is 6, 6. Okay, so 1/6 is right here.